Hey everybody, it's tequila time. Um, I had a little event yesterday, and I mean little. Like I had a couple come over, introduced them to tequila. We started out with Blancos, mostly. We did go through one brand that was Cambio. Explained the history of tequila, the denomination of origin, all of those items, and just worked our way. And we went with the most traditional, working our way up to modern in Blancos. We started out with Fortaleza, went to Cascawin, and then ended up with Cambio. We tasted a few others in between, but this was baby steps in introducing them into tequila. Friends are into wine, especially her. And she's went and got sommelier certifications, and so she's doing wine and food pairings and things of that nature. She was excited about doing the tequila and really kind of was able to open their eyes on what real tequila tastes like and how you drink it, and looking for those those aromas and those flavors that you find, and understanding terroir of tequila. We were at it for about 3 hours. It was just the three of us. Had a really, really, really great time. So we plan on exploring more, delving into more into aged tequilas and the differences in between them, especially the different brands, and having a little more fun with it, not being quite so structured. She was all absorbing everything. So great friends, and I got another one hooked. So gonna have a little fun with this video. I wanted to show you something I've been collecting for a little while. You see how deep this is? It's full, it's almost full. I'm collecting all the stoppers, all the corks from the bottles that I purchase and then empty. Oh yeah, I keep all my Fortaleza bottles. I have a plan for those, but I have all of my Ocho caps and Cambio caps. All the different ones. Lagrimas, Orete Grand Classe. I have a plan for these as well. I'm going to do an epoxy top on the bar that I build eventually. I'm going to cut all the corks off and lay the toppers all out, kind of like they do with with pot tops for bottles, the bottle caps, and lay them all out and then epoxy them in place and have a clear epoxy top with all these different ones like this. I'll take through a bandsaw and then cut them down thin. Probably the same thickness as probably my thickest wood would be, and I'm going to leave their embossing on there. So it's going to vary a little bit, but I'm going to have a minimum or a maximum height, because some of these, like this one, are not going to go any smaller. I want to leave some of these exactly the way they are. And so anyway, in my many travels over the past, since the last video and what I've done in between, I did go back and purchased what is now, I hope, is the complete set of Alquimia. This is the Blanco. We're going to taste this here real quick. And I went kind of went on a hunt Saturday. Saw a picture of a bottle of Tapatio Excelencia at my local Macadoodles, and by the time I get there, it's gone. They only got 2 bottles. I found out they only got 2. One sold the day they loaded it. They loaded the shelf, and then the next one sold the next day. So I was able. It's like, well, I made it all the way out here. Guess what I found? I found another Ocho Rapazzaro at barrel strength. So pick that up. Always good to have a backup. It's becoming one of my favorite higher proofs. So this week, I've got some tequila coming, and I'll let you know that when it gets here. I guess September is high proof Reposado week or month. high proof Reposado month. I don't know who comes up with these, but that pops up on my Facebook feed all the time. So we'll look into some of those. We'll probably do one this week, and then we'll do a mail order. I'm hoping to get a few more. I've purchased 3 bottles last week online. Supposedly maybe getting a 4th one. We'll see. Maybe even a 5th one. Not things I purchased, things that have been said, oh, let me send them your address and so they can send you a bottle of blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, good friends, just, and so onward and upward. Let's try some tequila. So we'll move the microphone back. And again, this is part of the same owner that is trying to get, he's working on getting to be 100% organic. So they take over the distillery, clean everything, so there's no residue left over from the other. The Reposado and the Añejo were delicious. As you can see, I've tested this extensively. We're going to test it some more. It's really good. For the price point, you can't beat it. I mean, it's not super cheap. It's not super expensive. It's right in that middle category. This stopper is big. There we go. That one ain't leaking. Guarantee. But nice Blanco, 80 proof. But everything has to be completely clean before he can get certified, and then does his thing, and then he can work on being certified. I think he is in Mexico. He just hasn't got the 100% organic from the U.S., so it's not on the label. But he is a doctor out of California, and oh, wow. Cooked agave. There's just, there's like a mango fruit note that's in here. Kind of more, on the verge of an apple. It smells really good. Let's give her a taste. Cooked agave up front. I get that mid-palate fruit. There's a little pepper on the back end, but it's nice. Really, no burn. Of course, you won't catch me coming unprepared. I do prime the palate before we go on camera. Usually with something close to what I'm drinking, but not exactly. So we're not mixing the flavor profiles. But that was one of the things I got to teach them, was how do you drink tequila? Well, first thing you need to do is warm up your mouth. So let's take a little bit of tequila. We're going to swish it around till we start feeling our tongue go tingly. And then give a swallow, then breathe in, and then out through the mouth after you swallow. And they're like, oh, wait a minute, that works really well. And so we proceeded on through our journey. We did our palate warm up with El Tequila Mixto Blanco, and this is what hey, this is what tequila is. Not 100% agave. We got ourselves, and then we started in our first sip. 100% agave was Fortaleza Blanco, and they're like, oh, that's different. That's not your college tequila, and it's not what we just warmed up with either. And then we went on to Cascawin Tahona, and then we went to Cambio Blanco, which then we also went up because the Cambio is at the 46%. So, and then went through the whole line of Cambio. With her wine background, I wanted to push that direction. And so really sparked some interest in some of the other tequilas that we ended up trying. We did finish off our dessert of the evening. Oh, come on. With my special bottle of dessert, Reposado Rare. Raised a few eyebrows. How did they get that flavor? Wow, Why? So it was fun. We are going to do it again. It's like I told them, I said, we just chipped the top of the iceberg. Once we start going through brands, comparing reposados to other reposados of different brands, añejos, extra añejos, just working our way through, I said, you're going to find out how the difference of terroir, the difference of water, the difference of how long the agaves, how ripe they are, how old they are, all these different things. Proprietary yeast, open air fermentation. We went through all of that. A lot of information in 2.5, 3 hours, but with her knowledge of wine, a lot of this made sense. And her husband was just loving it too. He's just like, wow, I could really get into this. I'm like, yes, you can. And just understand, it's an expensive hobby. It's not like having a whiskey hobby, though that can get expensive too. But tequila, only because it's all imported and because of what it takes to to grow it, really does that to it. But again, Alquimia Blanco at 80 proof, delicious tequila. They're everywhere. I don't know that they have a real problem with distribution. They've been around a little bit longer. I've just not. They've not been on my radar until recently, and I actually went back and saw some YouTube videos with Lou, Long Island Lou, and when he tried this stuff out, so was very impressed. And like I said, I've always seen the bottle, just never really heard anything more about it. And so I went back, and I'm not going to say I do all the newest and the latest and greatest, and I do because of when I started in this journey, this was something that definitely flew underneath my radar. Probably, like I said, get through this next month. We'll see where we're at. We might do a Blanco drink through and do something with something either I don't have or have had, and just maybe, I don't want to say do it blind. Kind of hard to do it blind when I'm here by myself. And maybe even try to get some guests to come in, and we'll do some taste throughs, and just have make a little longer content and have a guest. Never know. So make this one nice and short, and I hope you all have a great holiday weekend. This is Labor Day Monday, and I got to go to work tomorrow. So, hey, to tequila and to good friends, we'll all see you very soon. Salud.